The National Professional Fishing League amends their no information rule for 2026. Welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the vlog. If you're new, my name is Steve Chapman. The league, the NPFL, has amended their no information rule for 2026. The no information rule has been one of the most controversial rules within bass fishing. There are some people who believe it's needed. There are a lot of us that believe that it needs to be amended like the NPFL does, and some people think it's just crazy. Without question, it's probably one of the hardest rules to enforce. Other organizations have put more emphasis on making sure that they do more polygraphs or try to find out who is gathering information or soliciting information when anglers are not allowed to do it. And this year in 2025, we had more anglers disqualified in the other organizations than we've ever seen because of this rule. Now, this rule in most organizations says that an angler is not allowed to solicit or gather or barter or do anything to get information on a certain body of water that will allow them to get a competitive advantage. It's meant to level out the playing field. In most cases, as soon as the schedule goes out, those waters are now off limits. They're not allowed to talk to other people, the tackle shops. They're not allowed to talk to anybody to gather information. Again, it's meant to make everything as level as possible. Now, the NPFL has decided to change that rule for 2026. And in the past, like I said, anglers weren't allowed to obtain or solicit information about locating or catching fish before the tournaments, as soon as the schedule was released. Now, the NPFL has amended their rule so that now it isn't when the schedule is released, it's 30 days before the first day of practice on that body of water. Now, we don't know what the schedule is for 2026 yet. I don't know if they're late. It just seems like they're late because everybody else has put out their schedules. But this is really a good thing. This is what I believe anglers want and fans want. And I want to make sure that I read this and say, this is a quote from Brad Fuller. And this is one of the reasons. We want our anglers to be out there meeting with and talking to the fans. The anglers want that too. Just as importantly, their sponsors want it. It's why they support the pros. But if the pros have to worry about having a casual conversation at a gas pump or in a tackle store because someone makes an offhanded comment about a favorite lure or a worm color, it's gone too far. And it only serves to make our sport less accessible and fan-friendly. Spot on. I think most people would agree that this rule has really dominated, it's dominated the Bassmasters this year. It's scary to say that there's been more emphasis on this rule than most of the fishing. I mean, you will remember Easton Fothergill as the classic winner. But when we look at 2025, we're going to look at all of the anglers that were disqualified from the Bassmaster Elite Series. And this also helps pros when they meet us casual fans someplace. They don't have to say to them in the middle of the year when there's 6 months before they are able to, before the tournament. They can say, they don't have to stop an angler and say, don't say anything. I've had this happen to me, I can't even tell you how many times. 20, 30, 40 times in talking to friends who are pro anglers. One of the things they mentioned to me right off the bat, if they know they're coming down to Florida, they say, Steve, don't say anything about what the Florida fishing is like at the Harris Chain or on Kissimmee. They don't ask for it. They don't want me to say anything so that it isn't them gathering information. And NPFL deciding to make this rule change is spot on. This is what all organizations should do. Now, they mention in it, they hope that other organizations follow their lead, but they're not trying to be the leader. But let me just tell you, NPFL, you're leading. This is what fans want, I believe. I believe the fans want these kind of minor tweaks to the changes so it makes more sense to us and the pros. So thank you. But NFL has amended their no information rule for 2026, and I believe it's a great thing. What do you think? You think this is what every organization should do? Should this be something that we look forward to and that we take our hats off to NPFL for being the first to start this? They were the first to start prohibiting forward-facing sonar. Here they are, changing the rules so that anglers aren't being stressed out about talking to fans and friends and anyone else that might live near a body of water that they might go fish. This is wonderful, but tell me what you think. Comment below and tell me what you think. Thanks to all the new subscribers and members and everyone who's interactive on the channel. I really do appreciate it. It's a humbling experience, and you guys just are killing it. You are killing it. The channel's growth in the last 14, 15, 16 months has been unbelievable. And it's because of you guys. But if you're one of those 69.3% of the people who watch the channel and are not a subscriber, do me a favor and click that subscribe button. It's quick, easy, and free. All you gotta do is hit that subscribe, click that like button, and also click that notification bell so you know when the next video drops. And as always, remember, take a kid fishing, tight lines, cheers, and get your fish on.